Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. The value of cryptocurrencies has recently skyrocketed. Over the course of the last 24 hours, XRP has generally risen back above 50 cents, however, it is currently trading slightly below that level. The value of Bitcoin soared beyond $29,000. The institutional interest we saw at the beginning of this video is what we've been witnessing and what sparked this. It's astonishing what's happened and how rapidly attitudes have shifted, especially given that, according to some scare headlines, we should be afraid right now. If we are still holding cryptocurrency, we should seriously question our sanity. But I'll tell you this, in light of everything going on in the crypto background, as well as my own speculations, I think the amount of money that will flow especially into XRP will be just insane. I believe that a large number of institutional investors will quickly buy up XRP, and I will explain why. But there is something I need to clarify before we go any further. I come from a completely monetary free background. Nothing I say or write should be taken as recommendations to purchase or sell any security. Just a hobbyist here that occasionally posts films to YouTube on various crypto-related topics. Okay then. So, while I am Mr. XRP Bull, I still find some of the predictions for XRP to be a bit far-fetched, such as the one you see on your screen right now predicting a surge of 24,950% to $124. Look, I don't think it's completely out of the question that XRP may one day be worth $124. However, I really doubt that will occur soon. If it were to happen at all, I imagine it would take an extremely long period. But I expect there will be many more coins with market caps in the multi-trillion-dollar range, which is the premise behind the concept of trillion-dollar coins. And in the future, I believe there will be an asset class worth tens of trillions of dollars, if not more. What matters more is the length of time you have in mind. So, in the long run, I don't think XRP at $124 is ridiculous, but I do in the short run. That's a bit much, in my opinion, but that doesn't mean XRP won't have some truly unprecedented growth in the near future. In this video, I hope to explain why I think that time is coming. At the time this was recorded, XRP was just below 50 cents. The value of Bitcoin has recently risen to just over $29,000. Bitcoin has a dominant market worth of $1.15 trillion in its asset class. Look at this, look at this. I find it encouraging that Bitcoin's market share is growing. To date, it has risen above 49%. And that's exactly what you're hoping to see, given that Bitcoin has historically led the crypto markets, and since it's the one that rallies first in most cases, and for all the big sustained moves constantly. Altcoins then follow suit, as the asset class does tend to move in tandem. However, this is exactly what you see when the Bitcoin market recovers strongly after a bad market. As Bitcoin's market share grows, some investors may decide to sell some or all of their holdings and cash in on the profits. Bitcoin's dominance will inevitably decline as more people sell their coins and invest in alternatives. So it's not like Bitcoin's value is doomed to rise steadily into the foreseeable future. If Bitcoin survives into the future, as I believe and hope it will have a considerably lesser domination percentage than it has had during this initial section of its history over the last about 14 years. In a more developed market, I expect it to be much smaller than that, but for now, this is what you want to see. You hope the price of Bitcoin will rise, and you know what will happen then. This capital eventually makes its way back to the large cap coins via the huge cap coins, and so on. That's always been the case in the past. Not surprisingly, after the events of the past day, our greed has returned. With a score of 59 on the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, the market is currently optimistic for the first time in a while. So, what exactly is the root of this problem? This is the day's big news from you. The main reason why Bitcoin suddenly shot up to around $29,000. How shocking is it, exactly? BlackRock. However, the news isn't limited to BlackRock, there's plenty more to cover besides that. BlackRock has recently stated that they are working to develop a Bitcoin spot ETF, which is significant for a variety of reasons given that it would be traded on major exchanges like as the Nasdaq and the New York Stock Exchange. Not the people who buy the ETF, because they are just buying an ETF, but genuine Bitcoin must be purchased and retained. They are not investing in Bitcoin itself. This would allow them to use it with their current broker. They are not required to open a Coinbase account or any other similar service. So then, for those on the periphery who are vaguely familiar with crypto but haven't yet dived in, the question of whether or not it's safe may arise. What should I do with Coinbase, if anything? Now they obviously don't. This won't be a problem for them. Should this be approved? They can immediately continue as before, purchasing the ETF, hence increasing the actual demand for Bitcoin as BlackRock would be acquiring all of that Bitcoin. The supply and demand dynamics of the crypto asset class will benefit from increased public awareness of the asset class. You probably don't need me to break that down for you. This is encouraging. Therefore, this is good news for the entire crypto asset class, including XRP. Wow, that's great news. Since Bitcoin is apparently pushing for this, we may assume that BlackRock is the company that will succeed in getting approval from the highest levels of the United States government. When BlackRock first began dabbling in cryptocurrency in August of last year, many believed they were emulating the approach of the Gray Bitcoin Trust. In other words, it seems like they're just going to make a copy of this grayscale and turn the trust into a Bitcoin spot ETF at some point in the future. And indeed, it seems to be the case. They are merely a grayscale clone, with the exception that they are the connected ones. So while Grayscale was turned down by the SEC, which was followed by a lawsuit between Grayscale and the SEC that is still pending, BlackRock's application arrives at the perfect time. While the SEC's lawsuit and the ensuing chaos may be entertaining, it's not the only thing going on. I covered this story when it was breaking, but it has since expanded significantly. The recent developments have inspired a flood of new entrants in the market. And so, just stick with me in this video, because you'll see why I'm going to explain why this is going to significantly affect XRP in a favorable way. Look at this, then. BlackRock Spot Bitcoin ETF renews optimism, sparks wave of new filings, reads a recent headline on Cointelegraph. Who's right? Several companies who have previously been turned down are trying again. Although BlackRock has already filed, other companies are considering doing so. They must be sensing that this is a done deal at this point. Sooner or later, yes. I find it hard to believe that BlackRock would submit an application at this time if they didn't at least feel very confident in being granted this permission. Look at this, then. Peace is looking at these files. After the 15th of June, when the financial giant BlackRock filed for its own spot Bitcoin ETF with the New York-based asset management fund, at least two other investment firms submitted similar filings for spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds ETFs for short. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, received a new filing for a spot Bitcoin ETF from WisdomTree on June 21. After having its first application for a spot Bitcoin ETF rejected by the SEC in December 2021, WisdomTree submitted a second one, requesting that the exchange list the WisdomTree Bitcoin Trust under the ticker symbol BTCW. The same worries about fraud and market manipulation led to the rejection of its second application in October 2022. Approximately $83 billion in assets were under WisdomTree's management as of this writing. So, let me pause to say that, that's not totally nothing. That's still a lot, but it pales in comparison to BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world with a mind-boggling $9 trillion to $10 trillion in assets under administration. Huge to an extreme. If they are given the go light, the publicity they will generate is like launching a rocket. And, that's obviously not the only one. And then there's this other company, which is, in fact, rather sizable. That brings us to Invesco. The CoinDesk headline reads, Invesco reapplies for Bitcoin ETF, which essentially calls for a greater variety of crypto investment options. This is definitely a worthwhile investment. I won't even bother reading the article. Assets under administration range from $1.40 to $1.50 trillion, according to reports I've seen. They must be enormous. They're not quite BlackRock-sized, but they outsize the competition. Insightful Tree $11.4 billion. They are following BlackRock's lead and investing at the moment. What a fascinating fact. And thus, here is a tweet from an Andrew who was rather well known in the crypto community at AP, underlined Abacus. In addition, he mentioned that BlackRock, Citadel, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, WisdomTree Funds, and Invesco are just some of the established financial institutions that have dove headfirst into the cryptocurrency market during the past 48 hours. The SEC filed suit against Coinbase and Binance on day 7. Incredible. Why aren't people freaking out right now? All these big SEC lawsuits are going to wipe out the whole asset class. The big players, though, are just now beginning to enter the fray. Are you serious? Okay, so they're not scared. Do we need to be? I mean, I really am not scared. The actions of the SEC are detrimental to my wealth, thus I worry about their short-term repercussions at the very least. But I don't worry too much about the long-term survivability of this or that. I have faith that the right things will be done. But lawyer John Deaton retweeted this and said it was like a blueprint operation being carried out in real time. And here's a tweet from Adam Cochran, another crypto industry celebrity with nearly 200,000 followers. The crypto market has seen a slew of new entrants in the past week, including BlackRock, Citadel, Deutsche Bank, and Nasdaq, as the source explains. They intimidated people out of the game, all to get their hands on some dirt cheap coins. The future of cryptography is now more defined than ever. Do you finally see the obvious? What do you think? The public is frightened. Major corporations are currently jumping in as prices are low and investors are hoarding coins. So, have a look at this. And now I'll give you a little summary to drive home the concept, because these corporations are enormous. Thus, Bitcoin exchange-traded funds are not the only topic. Even though that is extremely important, you should read this. However, have a gander at this Daily Huddle headline as well. Newly created cryptocurrency exchange supported by Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Citadel, and others. The brand new digital asset marketplace has the support of some of the world's largest financial institutions. Markets. Financial powerhouses like Charles Schwab, Citadel Securities, Fidelity Digital Assets Paradigm, Sequoia Capital, and Virtu Financial reportedly provided investment for the startup, as detailed in a recent press release. Once more, it's all right. Because of your familiarity with the outside world and your awareness of current events. Those ridiculous claims made by Gary Gensler that the cryptocurrency industry is full of con artists and is used for illegal activities. Everything under the sun, dragging everyone into court till they're broke. And this is happening because some of the world's largest financial institutions are supporting a whole new digital asset marketplace. We are still at peace. Ed will use the money to advance its trading platform and strengthen its position as the market leader. Ed is merely offering at the moment, and this is crucial. I'll summarize everything for you right now. Look at this. Although the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission brought charges against Coinbase and Binance earlier last month, Ed only allows trading in 4 cryptocurrencies: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. There you have it. This is what you can do. It's the largest organizations on the planet, again. They offer you 4 different choices. There are already over 20,000 different digital currencies available. Bitcoin Ether, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash give you a total of 4 choices. Out in the wild, everyone knows me. I'm sure that few coins hold a lot of excitement for you. Oh, man. I am the proud owner of all 4 of those. Although I'm not overly enthusiastic about cryptocurrencies in general, I do own around 30 of them, with XRP being my largest. holding and the one in which I have the most interest for a variety of reasons. But consider another point of view. Here's a tweet from Frecky, a participant in the XRP community. He works in finance by day and has been involved with crypto since 2011. Check out the tweet he sent out late last night. "We'll receive XRP clarity if Slash wins," he stated. "It's happening on platforms that exclusively support Bitcoin and Ethereum trading. The volume would be unprecedented for XRP, and I can't even begin to fathom it. The significance of XRP is this large. Now consider this. You say that here is where large financial institutions are putting their money. There are a bunch of coins. Given that not even Bitcoin itself has definitive regulatory certainty, XRP would be the first large-cap coin in the world to do so. How about you? Is this what you expect to occur? Simply put, it makes you want to. Would it not be added to the database right away? No one has ever encountered anything like this, you know? I can't wait for all the cash to start rolling in. Holy crap. This is one of those unusual cases where you actually have some kind of forward momentum, and that in itself is remarkable. And the retail side was what got it going in the first place, not the institutional side. Whereas in most other areas of life, it is typically established institutions that serve as the impetus at the outset because that is where the money is. In a similar vein to the dot-com boom of the 1990s, brick-and-mortar stores can now enter the fray. And yet, there it was. The retail sector sparked this movement. Also, institutional investors have been slow to join the fray. But even so, there are hardly any people here. So, congrats on that. Congratulations, even if you're joining the crypto space in 2023, you're already ahead of the world's major financial institutions. You should be congratulated. You can see where it's headed, but since there are essentially no people and most institutional money is sitting on the sidelines, progress is slow. As a result, the Ripple case will be resolved with precision. If that's good news, it certainly raises some questions about what's to come. Putting aside the initial pump, I think this optimistic news that we would likely break even would be enough to send XRP skyrocketing, therefore it's best not to try to anticipate its price. I have no idea how high it could go, but I do see the appeal of having it listed on exchanges where large institutions have multiple choices because, you know, they're going to be super if we're talking about some of the largest institutions on the planet. They'll simply be more cautious overall, but especially at the outset and in light of the SEC's current offensive. Why not include XRP, the cryptocurrency with the greatest market cap in the world right now, despite the price being suppressed, if there are coins that you believe are safe, regulatory clarity? What am I trying to say, then? I think the Frecky is spot on here. And I realize that yes, of course, we can get negative news and the XRP price could go down, etc. But I just want to say that I have a lot of hope for this place. Now you know why prices are rising while we should all be cowering in fear. XRP is about to receive regulatory certainty, which is good news for the world's largest institutions. Congratulations. You've arrived before the vast majority of people have. In my opinion, this is very shocking. For me, personally, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. And I am really intrigued to see the outcome of this, because I do understand. There's a chance I'm completely wrong. It's possible that everything collapses to zero. But there are many reasons why I choose to remain optimistic. That's not the most likely outcome, in my opinion. In my opinion, the true value will be significantly higher. It's all progressing. Please share your opinions with me. And this, too, is worth mentioning. In terms of loyalty, this is so. Bitcoin.com is the source of this information. Fidelity, which is widely believed to be preparing a Bitcoin spot ETF application in the United States, has made an offer to acquire Grayscale. Another one, then. That's a rumor that started circulating a couple of days ago. However, that might be covered by a different exchange-traded fund. Remember that you're dealing with Fidelity, one of the world's top financial services firms, which may be interested in purchasing Grayscale. Fascinating information. What I mean to convey is that terrifying stories have always existed. But if you look at what's happening, you'll see that you should really be paying attention to the moves that are made by the major players, whether you're in a bear market or beginning to get out of a bear market. Everything is about to become crystal clear for XRP, and you can see it here and now. No, I don't give out financial advice. Nothing I say or write should be used as a basis for making financial decisions. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.